Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is CJ Craig.
And I'm Miracle Garrett. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
And with the ongoing conflict in Gaza, President Joe Biden will deliver an address to the nation later today. Some of the images and video you are about to see in the following story are graphic and may be uncomfortable to see or hear. CNN's Mike Valerio has a story.
A deadly explosion rocking a Gaza neighborhood not far from homes where children are playing. Outside of a hospital, mourners pray over the body bags of victims. The grim effects of war that's erupted in the Middle East captured on video. A war that the Israel Defense Forces say may not have an end in sight.
This will not be short. And even if we'll have to expand the campaign in case another enemy gets involved, we'll know how to handle it.
With fears that a humanitarian crisis is spiraling out of control in Gaza, the United States and the European Union are calling for Israel and Egypt to allow aid across the border.
The Palestinian people are victims of Hamas too. And that is why I welcome your decision yesterday that you took to ensure that routes into Gaza will be opened.
Now, on the heels of a high-stakes visit to the war-torn Middle East, President Biden is slated to address the nation Thursday evening.
To lay out his view of this extraordinary moment that we are in when it comes to our national security and international stability, with a highlight and a focus obviously on the conflict in Israel and his visit there yesterday, as well as the ongoing conflict in Ukraine.
The U.S. Embassy in Beirut warning Americans in an updated security alert to fly out while commercial options are still available. And the president is pledging to get Americans and other civilians out of Gaza.
We're going to get people out, but I'm not going to go into any detail with you now.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The president's address will be given today at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Former President Trump loyalist Sidney Powell has pleaded guilty in the Georgia elections case. Fulton County prosecutors are recommending she get 6 years probation. In return, Powell has to testify in future trials, perhaps including the former president's. She also has to write an apology letter to Georgia voters. Powell is admitting she had a role in breaching election systems in a rural Georgia county in 2021. Former President Donald Trump and the other defendants have pleaded not guilty.
And an 18-year-old man was arrested in connection to yesterday's downtown parking garage shooting. According to the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office, the man faces 2 charges of shooting with intent to kill.
On Monday, a man entered the ACM at UCL building in Bricktown with a firearm in his pocket. The man entered without authorization and was arrested after an ACM staff member notified police. UCL thanks the ACM staff and the Oklahoma City Police Department for their swift response to the incident.
Well, it's fall season, but the temperatures are starting to warm up around here. It's a nice day to go outside, maybe have a picnic, maybe do something outside. But
the temperatures outside were great. Jules, what is it looking like?
Thank you, CJ and Miracle, and happy Thursday, UCO family. It has been a wonderful temperature and weather for the past couple of days. Right now we're sitting at 81 degrees. It is sunny outside. We haven't seen a lot of clouds. Our winds are running northwest 16 miles per hour, so we are kind of feeling that breeze. The humidity rate is 23%, not too high, so it is feeling like 79 degrees. Again, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's great to have a picnic. I love picnics. Later tonight, our low is going to be 54 degrees, clear skies. Again, winds southwest 5 to 8 miles per hour, so cooling down those winds. Our humidity rate is again 23%, and we have no chances of rain tonight. That is all I have for you right now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jules. With inflation costs rising, more and more students are finding it harder to pay for food. But one organization on campus is trying to fight that.
Food insecurity is one of the biggest problems Oklahomans are facing, but Central Pantry seeks to help alleviate some of that stress for UCO students.
So we have the Central Pantry, like the pantry downstairs of the NI. It's on the basement level, kind of around the corner of the UCOSA office. So students can just sign up and then get free food that way. We also have the Central Pantry Birthday Week coming up, so we'll have a bunch of stuff going on for that. I'm not sure what that looks like yet. We also do like food drives and other things.
On campus today, Central Pantry passed out some fresh produce from the regional food bank to help students who might not have the money to buy fresh food.
So we decided to put on a little farmer's market type of thing. We got a free pallet from the regional food bank of free produce, and we know that students don't typically like go to the store and buy produce, and it's typically more expensive. And so we thought we'd try it out and see if it's a big hit and continue to do more of it and just make it bigger and better.
Central Pantry also has many programs around campus, such as Bronco Bites. And Jolie says that more students should take advantage of the program and all they have to offer.
It was so great and so crazy. I wasn't expecting it to be such a big hit. Within like the first hour and 30 minutes, we were like running low on like pretty much everything. We had way more than this in the beginning, and it's just great to see that like this is all we have left from today.
Central Pantry plans to host more events like this on campus. And they also want students to know that you don't have to be afraid to ask for help.
You shouldn't be embarrassed at all. It's kind of in a safe, secure location. Oklahoma is the 5th hungriest state, and everyone here really struggles with food insecurity, so it's nothing to feel embarrassed of. We want you to get a good education and to put your best foot forward, and we know that's not possible without food on the table.
In Edmond, I'm CJ Craig, UCentral News.
And to honor the 37 lives lost daily due to alcohol-related deaths, UCO is hosting the Bucking Broncos Run. The run will consist of 37 collective miles. The first 10 people to arrive will receive a free t-shirt. And if you would like to participate, the run will be on Saturday, October 21st near the Max Chamber Library from 9 a.m. to noon. To get more information, go to UCO Health Promo on Instagram.
In Oklahoma higher education, new name changes have been made to the former DEI offices by Governor Stitt. UCentral reporter Shanice Hopkins has the story.
Earlier this year, diversity, equity, and inclusivity offices have found themselves under political pressure. Governor Stitt voiced his support for the passing of legislation that aims to cut funding from university offices.
I think it's nonsense. Why are we spending taxpayer dollars on this stuff? We already have anti-discrimination laws on the books. I think our universities do a great job.
Given the political climate surrounding anti-critical race bills being passed in Florida and Texas, university offices in Oklahoma are trying to find ways to adapt. Here in the basement of the NIE, UCO's own DI office has seen some changes.
This year they made it more towards a research center and so a research place where people can do homework and all that. And that's fine, but it takes out what was so welcoming and inclusive about the ODI.
One of the changes seen included a name change from the Office of Diversity and Inclusion to the Inclusive Community Student Hub. Though this change may seem minor, students express that they no longer feel included with the office.
This semester, I haven't really been there as much. Ever since the name change, I feel like there's been a decrease in students going to the office a lot.
While student attitudes towards the changes in the office vary, they can all agree on their opposition to Stitt's legislation. Former president of Diversity Roundtable, Janelle Roslin, emphasizes the need for diversity offices on campus.
These spaces are really important because it gives them a safe space to feel included and a safe space to want to continue their education here, to want to be here and want to give back here. Because that's what you want. You want people that can go out into the community. You want people that can go out and go into the workforce and be like, I am alumni of UCO because I felt included. There was a space for me. I felt happy.
We were unable to receive an interview from the director of the office, but will expect one in the near future. Reporting from the University of Central Oklahoma, Shanice Hopkins.
Thank you, Shanice. And coming up after this break, the wind is definitely sweeping down the plains here in Oklahoma, but will the temperatures change soon?
Jules Black will have your full weather forecast whenever we come back.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back, UCO family. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the tomorrow highs across the state, starting up in Guyman in the Panhandle, a 90. And if you're traveling down to Altus and western Oklahoma, you're going to see those high 80s going into those 90s tomorrow. If you are heading east, you are going to feel those cooler temperatures, 83 in Tulsa, 82 in McAllister, and 80 going down up in Miami, Ponca City 84. So you're definitely seeing those cooler highs compared to western Oklahoma. Next, moving on, we're going to go ahead and go into our 7-day forecast. Thursday, like I said, 81, and tonight our low is going to be 54. Heading into Friday, 84. Low 60 for that Friday night. Going into Saturday, it's actually going to be partly cloudy, and we're going to see that high is 85, but that low that night is going to be 58. Moving on into the weekend, going into next week, actually, Sunday 82 with that low of 63. Monday, we're going to see 81 again. Both of those days sunny, no clouds in the sky. But Tuesday and Wednesday, we do see that chance of rain, 50% chance of rain on Tuesday and 60% on Wednesday with those 75 and 73. 73 is very low highs and 63s that Tuesday night. But that is all I have right now. Stay tuned for your last look of weather later in the show, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jules. And you know, Oklahoma weather, we always say, but it's bipolar. You know, one week it's super cold, and then the next week it's super warm, and it's looking like we're going to continue with those fluctuating patterns.
We're used to it, but the temperatures this weekend look great, so don't forget to go out, have some fun.
For sure, for sure.
And coming up in social media, hear what Puerto Rican superstar is going on tour next year.
Perla Tovar has more in social media coming up right after this.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos, to your social media update.
My name is Perla Tovar, and we're going to be diving into the world of social media. Announced this morning, one of my favorite artists, Bad Bunny, has announced that he'll be returning to the stages this upcoming year. The Puerto Rican superstar announced his touring plans in support of his latest release, Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana, translating to Nobody Knows What Will Happen Tomorrow. Bad Bunny will head out to his North America Most Wanted tour starting in February 2024. He'll be performing in Tulsa at the BOK Center on April 24th. Registration to purchase tickets will be open until October 22nd, but there is no guarantee that everyone who registers will get access to purchase tickets depending on the demand. Be sure to catch Bad Bunny hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend as well. And if you guys are looking for live music and dinner tonight, then you can catch a Los Angeles-based folk duo that will be performing at the Jones Assembly tonight. Johnny Swim will be making a stop in OKC with opening act Nathan Nanelli. Doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and tickets will range from $40 to $60. You can purchase your tickets online or at the door while they are still available. And for all my gamers, two big games will be released tomorrow, Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Wonder. Spider-Man 2 will have you playing as Peter Parker and Miles Morales fighting against favorite villains such as the Lizard, Kraven the Hunter, and Venom. This game will only be available for anyone with a PS5. And Mario Wonder is the newest Mario game from the Nintendo and is the first fully original 2D game in the franchise since New Super Mario Bros. The game has you playing as Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and many other characters throughout to stop Bowser from a new setting. The game is exclusive to Nintendo Switch systems. Both games will be on the hottest games of the market tomorrow morning, so make sure you guys head over to your local gaming store before they sell out. And that's all I have for you guys today, so back to you guys at the desk, and I hope you guys have a great evening.
Thank you, Perla. And that Super Mario game looks really fun.
I know. Super Mario Brothers is actually one of my favorite games, so I'm pretty excited. My nephew has a Switch, so I'm going to just kind of borrow it for the weekend.
Yeah, Nintendo always makes really great games, and I'm super excited to see how this one turns out.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
But coming up in sports, the UCO golf team had a podium finish in their most recent outing, and a big game is set for the volleyball team tomorrow here in Edmond.
Also, a look at college football Week 8 and the WNBA championships that just went back-to-back. UCentral's Mark Lowe is standing by with sports after the break.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Mark Lowe, and this is your Thursday Sports Report. The men's golf team got a podium finish from the regional preview earlier this week, and one Bronco was crowned the MIAA Men's Golfer of the Week. The Broncos, who were led by redshirt freshman Nick Canales, placed second in the tournament with a 54-hole score of 5 yards over par, only 3 shots behind Arkansas Tech. Canales finished in second in the individual category with a score of 254 holes, 1 shot behind Harding University's Sam Tandy for the title. Canales' great outing didn't go unnoticed, however. He was crowned the MIAA's Men's Golfer of the Week for the 2nd time this year. Congrats to Canales and the Broncos for a good finish. Postseason begins on Friday for the Bronco cross-country team, and the Lady Chos will travel to Missouri to compete in the 2023 MIAA Women's Cross Country Championships. Lincoln is hosting the race at the University of Missouri's Gaines Creek Cross Country course. The Broncos have completed 4 races this season before Friday, and they go into this one with a 5-person lineup ready to run for a title. After the race, UCO will then turn its attention to the NCAA Regional Championships in 2 weeks, which will take place in Joplin, Missouri. Over to the hard court. The volleyball team is back home this weekend for a couple of home games, one of which is a big matchup against Nebraska Kearney. The 19th ranked Lady Broncos come into the matchup ranked 8th against the Lopers. They welcome them tomorrow night. The matchup is almost 1 month to the day since the last matchup where the Broncos were routed by the Lopers 1-3 in Nebraska. The Chos look to dish out some good old-fashioned revenge to continue their 5-game win streak. The homestand continues on Saturday when Fort Hays State pays a visit. The Broncos played the Tigers earlier this season in Hays, Kansas, and gave them a 3-0 loss at home. This is the last matchup for the Chos before they hit the road for 2 weeks before they come back to finish off the regular season. Now on to the football team. The Broncos are on the road this week, and the President's Cup is on the line. The Broncos make the 160-mile trip to Tahlequah, Oklahoma to face off against the Northeastern Riverhawks. The Chos are coming off a dominating 59-17 win over Lincoln, which boosts their record to 3-4 and are looking to keep the pressure on when they defend the President's Cup. The Riverhawks, on the other hand, come into the matchup with a 1-6 record and are looking to bring the President's Cup back to Tahlequah for the first time in 8 years. The Broncos hold a 57-27 series lead against the Riverhawks, as well as a 15-9 advantage since the introduction of the President's Cup back in '98. Good luck to the Broncos this weekend, and roll Chos. The 2023 WNBA season concluded last night after a hard-fought game, and it ended with the champions retaining the title. The Las Vegas Aces emerged victorious over the New York Liberty with a final score of 70-69. The Aces won the championship despite being shorthanded. Chelsea Gray and Kaya Stokes did not play after they both suffered injuries ahead of Wednesday's game. Aja Wilson was named Finals MVP, and she finished the game with 24 points and 16 rebounds. The win makes Las Vegas the first team in 21 years to win back-to-back WNBA titles. Finally today, Week 8 of college football is upon us, and there's some ranked matchups that could prove to be instant classics. While there's plenty of great games to watch, like the 6th-ranked Sooners in Central Florida, South Carolina and Missouri, and Michigan at Michigan State, the ones that could be some shootouts are all ranked games. Starting off, the Tennessee Vols pay a visit to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide. If you remember last year, there's a lot of bragging rights on the line, and maybe a few goalposts as well. Over in the Pac-12, Utah takes on USC after the Trojans are coming off a big loss against Notre Dame and look to get back on track. And brewing up in the Big Ten is Ohio State versus Penn State in the Horseshoe. These are all games to keep an eye on, as we may see some shifting in the rankings by Sunday. CJ, Miracle, who do you guys have this weekend? There's a lot of good matchups coming up to watch, and I think there's going to be a few upsets. What about you guys?
You know, I think you're right, especially in OSU Penn State. I really think Penn State has a good chance to really knock off the Buckeyes, you know? And speaking for USC Utah, I would obviously go Utah because I hate USC, but half of their team is injured due to, you know, injuries. So I'm going to have to go with USC. And then for Alabama, Tennessee, you know, I got to go with the Crimson Tide. They always seem to pull it off.
Alabama's going to be a great matchup. You know, Roll Tide. I actually know that team, so I can support it.
Yes, yes. And coming up after the break, fight against substance abuse and what UCO is doing to knock it out.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, Broncos. In a fight against substance abuse, UCO is hosting an event called Standing Sober. This Friday, UCO is standing against drunk driving, substance abuse, and overdose. UCO will be memorializing past UCO students who were lost in DUI accidents and will be honoring students who have been negatively affected by substance abuse. This event will be located at Plunkett Park with free food and food trucks along with music and dancing. Standing Sober will have educational resources and will last from 12 to 2 p.m. And going back to the weather, like we were saying earlier, it was very bipolar right now, but I'm going to enjoy it while I can. This warm weather is going to be gone in about a week.
I know. What are those temperatures looking like, Jules?
Thank you, Miracle and CJ. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and look at our tomorrow's forecast. Especially if you're going to work or having a picnic like I'm probably planning on this weekend. 7 a.m. that we have that cooler temperature, 55. Again, all clear tomorrow. Noon, 74, but we are going to feel those winds picking up. 77, again, clear at 7 p.m. So these are our highs for tomorrow. That 55 is going to be really nice in the morning because I know I work in the morning, so it's going to be amazing for me. And we're just going to wrap up with our weather headlines for today. So we have the warmer weekend ahead of us, and those those chances of rain going into next week. And also a fun fact of the day, you can actually tell the temperature by counting a cricket's chirp. So how it works is that if you count the cricket's chirp in 15 seconds, in a 15-second time span, and just add 37, that's like a approximate temperature in Fahrenheit, which I thought was pretty cool, and I don't really believe, so I'm going to definitely have to try it out. But that's all I have for you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jules. Definitely going to have to try that one out. And Halloween is just around the corner, and UCL's Tri Sigma is hosting their haunted house, Nightmare on Sigma Street, this Friday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Tickets are $6 from a member and $10 at the door. The profits raised from tickets and donations will go to polio research and awareness.
Now, I don't know how you feel about haunted houses, but I simply love them. I love the Halloween season. It's just the vibes, the spooky vibes you get from it. There's nothing like it.
I love it. It's actually so crazy how much I love and hate being scared. Because I love haunted houses. It's just such a great tradition. So guys, go out and support, buy those tickets, and have a lot of fun. $10, you can't beat it.
And plus, you're supporting a good cause as well.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of UCentral News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm CJ Craig.
And I'm Miracle Garrett. You guys have a great night. Oh, do you really love haunted houses?
I do.
I love